audience. So today's webinar is about artificial intelligence. What are the services available for you in AWS? How you can build a machine learning model without any experience, right? It's a beginner webinar, and we'll discuss about some of the services which are available on AWS. So I hope this will be very interesting. Guys, I'm audible. Am I audible? Just confirm, so I'll proceed. Am I audible, guys? Chanakya, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? All right. So if there is any disruption, just let me know. So I'll continue with the webinar. And meanwhile, if you have any disruption or if you're not able to hear me, just drop a note and uh, we'll assist you. So let's get started. So our mission at AWS, what AWS says about machine learning. So AWS mission is to put machine learning in the hands of every developer. So whatever application you build on AWS wants you to use machine learning, and machine learning uh, has to be in the hand of every developer, right? Because you can do awesome things with machine learning, and you can integrate machine learning models, you can train machine learning models, and do a lot of cool things. Before, machine learning used to be very expensive because you have to make huge upfront investment, right? Not the case now. So you can start with uh, very low cost, and you can go big anytime, right? So the mission of AWS is to put machine learning in the hands of each and every developer. Now question is, why AWS for AI? Why not any other cloud provider, right? Because AWS offers broadest and deepest set of AI machine learning services for your business. And when I talk about broadest and deepest, I mean every quarter there is a new service or there is a new feature related to machine learning and artificial intelligence. So just to give you numbers, so 200 and plus new features and services were launched since January 2018. AWS is known for solving the toughest problem, right? Holding back machine learning costs, ease of use, and data. So how do they do it? Because they have a very good infrastructure in the backend, and with that you can actually save 75% of your inference cost, right? And there is a 70% of cost reduction in data labeling without any machine learning experience. When I say no machine learning experience, it means you don't have to deal with the infrastructure. There are services which you can consume readily, right? So just call the API and use it inside your application. Now there is an unmatched support for the most popular framework. So if you are into TensorFlow, if you worked with TensorFlow, so you would be happy to know that 85% of the TensorFlow projects in the cloud happens on AWS, right? So that's pretty interesting. And you can build on the most comprehensive cloud platform optimized for machine learning. So the cloud platform or the cloud offering of AWS is actually optimized for machine learning. Just to give you an example, in AWS we have inferential instances, which is designed for machine learning and machine learning related workload, right? Similarly, you have all the security services, which integrates very tightly with most of the machine learning services. So these are some of the reasons why you should go with AWS for artificial intelligence, right? And more machine learning happens on AWS than anywhere else. So just to give you customer base, you can see some of the very big names, right? NASA is there, Snapchat is there, Slack is there, Echo is there. Oh, a lot of customer, Twilio, Pinterest, they are all using AWS machine learning offering, right? Let's talk about machine learning stack. What we have in AWS machine learning stack. So to start with, it's the application services. So it's a SaaS offering, so which anybody can use, which is ML for everyone, right? So this is related to we have distributed into three or four categories. So let's take one category, category one for which is vision, right? So in vision we have services such as Amazon recognition, image and video, and then we have Amazon text basically. So with Amazon recognition, you can do intelligent image analysis, video analysis, right, by calling the recognition API inside your application. With text extract, as the name suggests, you will be able to extract text, and you can do some really cool things. For example, if you have a form, you can do intelligent analysis on the form, and then based on that, you can select how many people said yes, how many people said no, like those kind of analytics you can do. In terms of speech, we have Poly and Transcribe. We'll go through these services in the coming slide, but just to give you an idea, so Transcribe helps us in analyzing the sentiments of your users, right? Whereas Poly builds interactive interfaces for your application, conversational interfaces inside your application. Now, for language, we have Amazon Translate, Amazon Comprehend. Chatbots is also available, Lex, and forecasting, you can use Amazon Forecast. And for recommendation, there is Amazon Personalize also. So these are machine learning services for everyone, right? Anybody can consume these services. These are readily available. Now, when we talk about machine learning for engineers, these are platform services. So we have Amazon SageMaker. Using SageMaker, you can build your machine learning model, you can train your machine learning model, and then you can deploy the machine learning model, right? So by building it, so there are pre-built algorithms and notebooks. So if you are familiar with Jupyter notebooks, you can use those notebooks for data labeling and machine learning marketplace. You can also train your machine learning model. So one-click model training, tuning optimization, reinforcement learning, hyperparameter and optimization, these all things can be done on SageMaker. And finally, you can deploy your machine learning model with a one-click deployment and uh, uh, hosting the model. So when we talk about hosting, its hosting will be done on the auto scaling, and elastic inferences integration will happen with VPC and AWS private link. So nothing will be exposed on a public endpoint. Everything will be accessible inside a VPC. So everything will be private, in short, right? So this is for engineers where you have a complex task and you have to build a machine learning model, right? So you can use Amazon SageMaker for this. This is, yeah, for the data scientist basically. Now, in terms of framework and interfaces, Amazon supports most of the popular framework for machine learning, such as TensorFlow, PyTorch, Torch, Keras, and you name it. All these frameworks are supported. For infrastructure, when we talk about compute layer, so Amazon provide inferential instances. So VM which has inferential capability. We have GPU based instances, and some of the common instances which are also available, which can be used for machine learning purposes, right? Machine learning AMIs are available on AWS. So if you want to use a pre-built image with machine learning interfaces and framework, pre-installed image, so you can use those images and you can use those AMIs. And then for IoT, you have Greengrass machine learning for your IoT devices. Right. So in a nutshell, this is a machine learning stack of AWS. We'll explore these services at greater depth in the coming slides. Now let's talk about we are the focus of our discussion is basically on this layer, the application services, because it doesn't require any machine learning experience. These can be consumed by anyone by calling the APIs. So these are readily available, more of a SaaS offering, right? What is the advantage with application services? So these are pre-trained AI services that requires no machine learning skills or training, right? It can easily add intelligence to your existing apps and workflow. So you can easily integrate it with your existing application, right? Quality and accuracy from continuously learning APIs. So APIs are managed by AWS, so it will uh, so the quality and the accuracy of these API will continue to improve in the coming years as more and more intelligence are added into these services, right? So these are readily available. A very common misconception about AI is, my AI problem is unique to my business, right? So people say, no service, no tool can solve my problem. It's very unique. I have to do everything from the scratch. But probably it's not, because uh, now because we are living in the age of data transformation, and digital transformation is happening, intelligent data analytics is happening, and people are using data for to gain the competitive edge. So probably your problem is not very unique. So let's explore that in detail. So we can put AI to work, right, without having any machine learning experience. How we can do that? So by using ready-made services which is offered by AWS, like TextRack, Comprehend, Lex, chatbots, right? We'll explore these in this module. So with these services, what you can do, you can increase efficiency with automated document analysis. So with TextRack, you can you can analyze your document in an intelligent manner and in an automated manner. So if you have an OCR sheet, you can analyze those documents. You can automatically extract data from those documents. You can do natural language processing. You can do intelligence search and text analytics, right? So very handy services, TextRact and Comprehend. Some of the features of TextRact is, text extraction, as the name suggests. Even if you have table inside your document, the tables can also be extracted using TextRact. And if you have form in your document, the form also can be extracted with TextRact, right? So this is how it will look like. For example, if you have a document on your left hand side, you can see there is a document. You can actually extract a block. So you can extract page, you can extract paragraph, you can extract line and word. These all can be extracted, and once it is extracted, then you can do intelligent analysis of these text, right? So Amazon TextRact sync and async, there are two models, so synchronous and asynchronous. So with synchronous, it supports single page document such as an image, mobile capture. So if you have an image and there is a text written in on that image, so you can extract it using TextRact. But it works for a single document, single page document, right? With asynchronous, you can actually extract text from multi-page document, and it supports up to 3000 pages. So that's interesting, right? So 3000 pages is a big number, but you can extract text from a big document which has multiple pages, right? So two models, synchronous and asynchronous, both are supported in TextRact. In terms of architecture, indexing and search for the documentation, this is how it looks like. So you will input the document, uploaded document images such as text form, credit application, or medical notes, or any document. This can be uploaded in a repository in a storage location, right? And then uploaded documents are stored in the data lake, probably S3, right? Then a Lambda function can be triggered. A Lambda function, as you know, it's a function as a service offering from AWS. Lambda function is triggered to initiate document analysis using Holograph API. There's an API for it. And then you can actually call textract. So textract then automatically extract text, including key, value pairs, and table. Output will be passed, so an output will be generated, and then you can perform contextual search on millions of documents. Integrate data into your document management system. So, for example, you may extract, let's say, location, geographical location, or a city. If you have a big document, you can extract cities along with the name parameter, so you know which users belongs to which city. Just a very small example, but it's possible. And then you can pass those output to Elasticsearch, right? Extracted data and confidence scores are indexed to enable document search. So the output can be passed to Elasticsearch for intelligent indexing, right? This is just a reference architecture. That's not the only way to use AI and TextRact, but there could be multiple ways to use it. This is one way, right? This is a reference architecture. Now, for image and video analysis, AWS offers Amazon Recognition. It's deep learning based image and video analysis. So all you need to do, you need to have. So all you need to do, you need to upload your image set or video set, and then use the Amazon Recognition API to do an image or video analysis. So for example, let's say I've uploaded an image on my left hand side, so it can intelligently detect some of the parameters, like an object can be detected. What is this object? This is a rock, a crest, outdoors. uh, this object is person, right? And then it's a mountain bike. So these kind of intelligent analysis can be done using recognition. And by the way, the recognition can be integrated with any of the any of your application, whether it's .NET, it's a PHP application. You can integrate recognition because it runs on API. So all you need to do is just have to call the API, and then recognition will do the magic in the backend, right? So features, Amazon Recognition can detect faces. It can detect celebrities. I'm sure if you use Amazon Prime, you would see celebrity information, right? This actually comes from recognition. This is one very common use case. You can see labels. You can see text. So if you have to extract text from that image, backend recognition can call text extract, and you can get the text. You can do moderation. You can it can detect activities, if there is any activities happening or any sports are happening. So recognition is intelligent enough to detect those activities. Recognition can detect paths, it can detect scenes, right? So these are some of the features. uh, So with recognition, probably one of the common use case would be to recognize your customer. So if you have a sign-in method, let's say username and password based authentication, so instead of that, you can use the customer's face for recognition, right? So once in your application, probably you can call recognition API, and you can do intelligent sign in with face detection, automatic face detection, right? This can be a good use case for recognition. So you can recognize your customer, verify the identities of the customer who opts in, and then you can do customer analysis, maybe sentiment analysis. So whether the customer is happy or he's what kind of mood it is, whether the customer uh, is in a good mood or is in a sad mood. So those kind of analysis can be done, right? You can also analyze trends and not individual. You can verify the identities of your customer who opt in. So let's say if there is a customer who is using your application, you can verify whether it's the same person or not. So it can detect similarities between two person. For example, on your left hand side and your right hand side, you can see two images. So it can detect whether it is similar person or not. Chances 93%. So that's a very good match. So most likely it's the same person, whereas comparison with the other is not, it's 0%, so that means it's not the person. So it can be very handy in fraud detection also, as you can guess, right? So if you suspect there is a fraud happening, so you can do some intelligent analysis on your customer image sets. Then we have Amazon Poly. So Amazon Poly is very useful when you have to create content creation, uh, mobile and desktop application for IoT, for education and e-learning, telephony, and for game development. With Poly, basically, it supports 61 unique voices across 25 languages. It supports lip syncing, uh, text highlighting, fine-grained voice control, custom vocabularies, and it's available in 14 regions. So Poly is can be used for basically text to voice to generate voice-based output, and it supports like 25 languages with 16 unique voices, right? Lip syncing, text highlighting is also a feature of Poly. Very useful services. So if you have to convert, if you want to add that functionality where you want to uh, convert text into speech, you can use Poly. We also have Amazon Transcribe for audio services, right? So Amazon Transcribe supports automatic speech recognition. So uh, if you have a regular or a telephony audio, it supports both. It has a good integration with S3, so you can store your uh, for a voice sample in S3, and then you can integrate it. Very well supported. Supports timestamp, punctuation, and formatting. So if you're using transcribe, so punctuation and formatting is automatically detected. It can recognize multiple speaker, and you will have a custom dictionary. By the way, these services, as you can guess, it is related to speech. A common use case for transcribe is call center. Probably if you're automating your call center, you must have to use transcribe. Without that, I mean, we cannot fully automate your call center. You can also use transcribe for subtitles and for video on demand. So if you have encoded a video, backend voice sample, backend audio sample can be added using transcribe. You can broadcast closed captions. So close, if you have a closed caption subtitles, these can be broadcast using transcribe and transcribe meeting. This is another use case. Now we also have Amazon Translate. So Translate, as you can guess by name, it's machine translation. Supports 21 languages, right? It is real time. Probably takes less than 500 milliseconds per sentence on an average for the translation, and it takes less than 150 millisecond for conversation in short form. Your data is secured, right? And unlike Google Translate, it won't store anything on onto the server. So data ownership, encryption, access management is on you, right? Uh, the cost wise, it is only $15 for 1 million characters. So which is like 0.000, I don't know, 75 per word, which is very less. It's all pay as you go, and you have a free tier also. That's interesting. 2 million characters monthly free tier. So 2 million characters will be available free of cost every month. So you also have tag handling. So if there is any XML tags placement, it is covered by Amazon Translate. And It's easy to use because it's all API based. So there are simple APIs that you can include in your application code in your program, and then using those API, you can call the functions of Amazon Translate, and you can easily integrate with your existing application. And these all are HIPAA eligible. It's HIPAA compliant, right? So Translate is another very interesting service. We also have Amazon Comprehend. So with Comprehend, you can discover insights and relationships in a text. You can do sentiment analysis, right? So you may have feedbacks coming in from different source, maybe from social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, right? These all can be aggregated. These all can be, uh, routed via Amazon Comprehend. So you can discover the insights and relationships in a text. So you can discover entities, you can do sentiment analysis, you can do syntaxing, grouping, you can detect languages. Uh, so these all things would be possible using Amazon Comprehend. And it supports multiple languages, not only English, but Spanish, German, French, and other languages are also supported. The idea here is we are collecting uh, our customer feedback from multiple social media platform, from multiple sources, and then we are doing an intelligent. Then we are building intelligent insights on our collected data, and we are discovering or we are developing relationships in the text just to understand what sort of feedback we get from our customers, right? This can be very handy for business. Some of the use case of Amazon Comprehend are like you can use it for voice of customer analytics, right? Analyzing what customers are saying about your brand, products, and services, what sort of feedback they are giving, right? You can do semantic search, so making search smarter by searching on key phrases, sentiment, and topics. So, for example, you can just search uh, good review, bad review, and then you will find the result. So very handy for semantic search. You can also another use case would be knowledge management and discovery. So you can organize documents. You can categorize by topic and personalize your user experience. So if you have some kind of a branding, you can also brand on all the platform using Comprehend. Uh, so this is what we discussed about transcribe, translate. If we combine all those services, we will be able to understand the voice of your customer, right? What sort of feedback they are giving. Even if they are passing the feedback in a different language, that's also fine because we have Amazon Translate. We can do a sentiment analysis, we can do app localization, we can use the translation service with Amazon Translate. We can uh, opt for transcription services, catalog media, accessibility. So if we combine these services, the overall byproduct would be, to better understand the voice of your customer. So this voice analysis, speech analysis would be very, very effective in that case. And some of the customer who are actually using it to build a solution are very common. Bitmop, Tint, POP, they are using Amazon speech services to build to build a solution for intelligent voice analysis. Now, in terms of use cases, again, to you can use these services to detect customer sentiments. For example, you will have a Twitter API stream, or you can have a Facebook API stream API, which streams your uh, comment, or which streams your user feedback, user comments, user post to Kinesis for live data processing, right? And then you can use Amazon Translate. If it's in a different language, you can translate it using Amazon Translate. Then you can trigger the Lambda function. You can call uh, transcribe, and this output can be passed to an agent, right? It integrates very well with comprehend. The overall byproduct or overall output can be stored in S3, and using Athena, you can do an intelligent analysis, right? You can run SQL queries to understand how many users, uh, let's say, gave a positive feedback or gave a negative feedback about your brand. And based on that, you can build an interesting dashboard using QuickSight, right? So this is one of the use cases. So it brings your customer together and you can have multi-language product analysis. Very easy, right? And even though if your customer or if your help desk agent is not familiar with the other language, since we have Amazon Translate, which does the translation work, he would be able to understand the feedback of your customer. That's one use case. Now you can also improve contact centers with AI. So we call it intelligent contact centers. So this will be through Amazon Connect. With Amazon Connect, it's a virtual call center. If you wanted to know about Amazon Connect, it's a virtual call center where you can make inbound and outbound calls, right? So with Amazon Connect, you can have a contact trace record and you can pass it to Kinesis Data Firehose for live data streaming, and this can be passed to S3 and then to Athena. In between, you can have your call recordings stored on S3. As you can see here, the call recordings can go to S3, and then using AWS step function, which does uh, which takes two or more actions. So using step function, you can call transcribe, and then with transcribe, you can use comprehend to understand to understand the sentiments of your users, to understand the entity, and to understand the key phrase. The byproduct can then be passed to S3, and using Athena, you can do an intelligent query, and then using QuickSight, you can generate a dashboard view for your customer. That's another interesting use case, right? You can modernize your contact center to improve customer services. So if you have live agent, you can optimize it with AI. So customers basically uh, they will they can use Amazon Translate services, and let's say if customer using a different language, your agents are using a different language, then Translate will make that job easy. And if the customer is French, he writes a query in French. Translate automatically translate the customer response to English, and then the agent will be able to intelligently interact with your customer, right? Similarly, if the agent responds to the customer in English, the translate will translate the agent's response in French, and the customer will be able to interact with the agent. And moreover, it can also integrate with comprehend for sentinel analysis. So live translation enables global multilingual chat. Real-time analysis provides next best action guidance. Live transcription extends guidance for voice calls. So using Amazon Connect, your customer can make a call to your virtual call center. A voice agents will pick it up. Again, same sentiment analysis you can do on Amazon Comprehend. And in between, you will also have Amazon Transcribe, right? So live transcription will happen for the voice calls. This could be another use case, how your live agents or how your chat agent can use AI to give better experience or to give a better service to your customer. We have Amazon Lex also. So using Lex, you can develop conversational interfaces for your application. So if you want to initiate any sort of conversation to your customer, right? It could be it could be through chat, it could be through some general queries, right? So you can use Amazon Lex to build that interface. So Amazon Lex supports a dialogue management. It supports speech to intent. So this is ASR plus NLU integrated into one API. So using one API, you can do natural language processing, and you can detect the intent of the speech. It also supports text to speech. So by the way, this is not the only feature of Lex, text to speech, but it is one of the features. So it supports text to speech by integrating with Amazon Poly, and you can then do analytics. So you can monitor and improve secure. It's all security is always guaranteed with any of the AWS services. You can add your business logic. Let's say if else statement. If the customer asks for this, then what reply you should give. So you can have that business logic. You can scale, and then uh, it's all about deployment. So you can deploy it using a single click. So Amazon Lex is actually designed for builders. So if you are building a conversational interface, let's say if the customer asks for, you can have a conversational interface like book a hotel. So what action I should take? So you should redirect to a booking API, and from there you should fetch the customer information and make a booking on his behalf. So these kind of things you can do with Lex. It is supported. It's very efficient and intuitive tools to build conversations. This is one example of Lex. Like I said, if you want to book a hotel, so intent is an intent performs an action in response to the natural language user input, right? So I so you can see the communication that is going on here. This is the uh, customer side. I'd like to book a hotel, right? So the response could be an automated response because you're using Lex. So you'll ask sure which city. See uh, these all things you can define inside Lex. So when you are creating an intent, when you are creating a conversational dialogue, you can define all the responses here, right? Then the customer inputs, okay, I want to book a hotel in New York City. Then you'll ask for date, right? Obviously, you need that information. So you see, instead of a of an agent, or instead of a person who's attending to the call, you have it done in an automated manner. So it will be done in a very automated manner where we have already defined the sequence that, okay, if the customer asks for this, what sort of question we should ask, what sort of response we should get from the customer, right? So these are all defined in Lex. So which date you want to check in? So it's 30th November, let's say. Are you sure you want to book the hotel in New York City? Yes. Then your reservation would be done. And you can call the booking API and you can book a slot for the person. Of course, this is just an example. You would like to capture more detail about the person, right? Like identity or your name of the customer. But this is just to give a very basic example how you can use Lex, right? So an intent performs an action in response to natural language user input. Then you have an utterance, spoken or typed phrases that invokes your intent. You have slots. Slots are input data required to fulfill the intent. So without slots, the request cannot be processed. So these are mandatory things. And then you have fulfillment, where you have a fulfillment mechanism for your intent, for your request, basically. This is one way how you can use Amazon Lex. Use case, you can build contact center bots, chat bots for customer service, IVR, right? Account inquiries, bill payment, service updates. You can have informational bots. So if somebody asks that, okay, uh, what what is my brand all about? I can have an Sorry, see, just give me a minute. Let me think this is the slide. Sorry. See. Go back. All right, so we can have informational bots, so chatbots for everyday consumer requests. So if there is any new update, we can push it through those bots. If there is any weather information, game score, these all can be automated. This all can be published automatically using information bots. We can also have application bots, enterprise productivity bots, and IoT bots, right? So this is just some of the common use cases. I mean, use cases, I would say your imagination is a use case. So you can build any kind of bots using Lex. You can develop any type of conversation using Lex, depending upon your use case. So the idea here, what we can do with Lex is we can modernize your contact center to improve customer service, right? This can be done using Amazon Poly, Transcribe, Amazon Translate, Comprehend, and Amazon Lex. So you can build conversational chatbots. You can have call transcription. You can have intelligent routing, sentiment analysis, right? VOC analytics, text to speech, multilingual, omni-channel communication. This is very important. So if you don't have to hire agents who speak different language, you can use Amazon Translate, which can automatically translate the inputs from your customer and from your agents, right? So that's it. These are because our objective was to cover services with zero experience, so that's why we are not touching upon SageMaker, because SageMaker is more for the engineers. But these services are available and you can consume it. Uh, these are readily available. You don't have to write explicit code for it. So all you need to do, you have to call the APIs into your code, and then you can use these services. All right. So I think there's no question. So in that case, I would like to say thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for attending this webinar. And if you have any questions, or if you have any requirement around AI or AWS, do let me know. Do let us know, and we'll be happy to help you in your project. Right? Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for attending the webinar. Looking forward to see you in upcoming webinar.